I will shift to, we will have coming maths. So let us start. So the very first question which we have today, then work C to E. So we B to C process. Puric process. Then right. Process, thermodynamic process under PV graph will be work done. So this particular area A to B, whatever area we are having, the area of this A to B process is basically 2V naught and breadth will be 0 to P naught. Happening, it is compression. The compression basically, so work done will be negative, right? This particular area will be negative, which I have already taken. So length will be from 3V0 to how to under the process, right? If it is a thermodynamic cycle, see the work done, right? Okay, next question is basically from question is related to the prism. That is A radiation and then find angle of prism. Know that a given of refractive index of in terms of A, that is angle of prism, that is deviation minimum. Equal to A, and we have to find out and divide by sine of A. Now we all know sine of A by 2. What we are going to do, we are going to call this sine A by 2 cos of A 2 root 3 root, then it will be triangle, both will be 60. Okay. So next question is from projectile. You know, figure with certain velocity. Ground we which will be V cos 60, and vertically which will be V sin 60. At the highest point, particle will have only horizontal, right? We all know that from the highest point, the turning point will come, the particle will come down. At the highest point, what will happen? It will have only horizontal velocity, that is V cos 60, right? Cos 60, only horizontal. Now, what is the kinetic energy? Kinetic energy initial means it will be what? Half m. Speed initially v naught square. So the value of initial equals half m. So what will be the kinetic energy final? So it will be half m kinetic energy at, velocity at highest point square. So this is half m. What is velocity at highest point? It will be v cos 60, and that too equal to v by 2. So this means it will be v by 2 square, and that means it will be 1 by 2 mv square divided by 1 by 4. This half mv square, we have already calculated this half mv square, right? This half mv square itself, it is how much? It is equal to k. So this will be equal to k by 4, right? Very easy question asking from projectile motion, and the answer of this question will be k by 4. Now coming to the next question. Next question is basically, okay, in this question we don't know exactly what will be the refractive index of the lens. So let us try this formula, whatever the data we are having. So the question is like that: we are having thin lens having focal length f in air. So we all know that for a given length, we are having a focal length as 1 upon f mu l by mu m. That is refractive index of lens by refractive index of medium minus 1, that is 1 by r1 first curvature radius, and minus 1 by r2 second curvature radius. So basically in the very first line they have mentioned that medium is air. So whenever medium is air, refractive index will become 1. So now this is 1 upon f is equal to mu l by 1 minus 1, 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. In the second part, what they have mentioned like that, what will be the focal length of the lens when it is completely immersed in a liquid. So medium we have changed, right? So we have changed the medium. So now the formula for the second focal length will be what? 1 upon f2 mu l by mu m minus 1, 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Since we all know that mu m is always greater than 1. The refractive index of any given medium is always greater than 1. So the value, if something is divided by more than 1, so definitely the value will decrease. If value of this particular thing will decrease, it is subtracted by 1. So it means that this overall value decreases. But try to understand one more point, that it is reciprocal of focal length. So definitely the value of focal length will increase. So what we can say from this particular question, since we don't have complete data, but what we can say that here focal length will increase. If we have data, then we could have calculated algebraically and we could have get some number, right? But we don't have data. So we can say that here itself in this question, the focal length of given particular lens will increase as it will immerse in any given liquid, right? So let us discuss next question. Okay, so next question is basically, this is the question. If you remember, then only you could answer this particular question. It is from Moseley law, right? The equation of Moseley law is something like that energy, that is HF, energy of given photon, that is equal to E naught. That is some factor that is depending upon this particular factor depend upon the transition of electron from any given orbit to certain given orbit, right? So what we can say that from here, let us do one thing. In the very first statement, what they have mentioned, F versus Z graph. So F versus Z means, let us take F on y-axis, right? And that is equal to Z on x-axis square. So this graph will be parabola. Taking F as y and Z as x, this graph will be parabola. And the second is that, if in the second statement, so first statement says that, the graph will be straight line, which is not true. The graph will be parabolic. Now similarly, what we can do, instead of you know, instead of taking, so what we are going to do, instead of taking f, we are taking root of that. So it will be what? It will be root of hf, and it will be E naught z minus b. So what we will do, we will take root of f, right? Root of f as y, and that will be equal to what? That will be equal to directly proportional to z, and z is basically we are taking as x. So if we draw root of f on y-axis and z on x-axis, this particular graph will be what? This particular graph will be straight line graph. So this is a straight line graph, and what they have mentioned in the question, yeah, it is a straight line graph. So statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. Now I will request Rajesh sir to discuss the further question of physics. Thank you so much.
हेलो, आवाज नहीं आ रही क्या? I hope you enjoyed the sessions. So moving ahead, I'll see some other questions. So now we have a question from capacitor. The question is, find the charge on the capacitor in the steady state. It's one of the most frequently asked question. When we talk about steady state, it means the capacitor has got fully charged. So when the capacitor is fully charged, it behaves like an open circuit. So now when the current will be flowing from here, so there is no current which is going to flow in this capacitor. So we'll remove this capacitor. Now the path of the current will be like this. So the current is flowing in this circuit and there is no current flowing in the capacitor. So now just looking at this, we can say that the total resistance of the circuit R equivalent is what? 15 plus 10 is 25 ohm, and the potential difference is 5 volt. So applying V equals to IR, our most favorite equation, V equals to IR, we can say that 5 equals to I into 25, and from here we can say that the current is 5 by 25, so that is 1 by 5 ampere. Okay, so this is the current flowing in the circuit. So now we'll see the potential difference across these 2 points. So let's say this is point A and this is point B. So we have to write down the potential difference between A and B. So VA minus VB is what the current flowing there multiplied by resistance between A and B. So resistance between A and B is what? 10 ohm. So this is 1 by 5 into 10. So 2 volt is the potential difference between A and B. So ultimately we have got the potential difference across the capacitor. So the charge on the capacitor will be Q equals to C into V. The capacitance is 8 microfarad and potential is 2. So this is 16 microcoulomb. So the charge on the capacitor is 16 microcoulomb. So this was almost a straightforward question. So moving ahead. So now see, the question is given as a question from alternating current. We have been given an LCR circuit. The inductance is given as 100 millihenry. Capacitance is 10 picofarad. And they are asking to find out the angular frequency of the source when the current has a maximum amplitude. This is the clue to solve this question. They are asking to find out the angular frequency when the current has maximum amplitude. So when the current will be maximum in an LCR circuit, in the condition of resonance, right? In the condition of resonance, the potential and current will be in phase. So we can simply say that XL equals to XC. Inductive reactance and capacitive reactance will be equal. So just putting the values there, this is L omega and XC is 1 upon C omega. From here we can say that omega square equals to 1 upon LC. So omega will be what? 1 upon under root of LC. Just now we can substitute the values of L and C and we can calculate the final answer. So omega is 1 upon under root of L. What is the L given? 100 millihenry. So 100 into 10 power minus 3, and the capacitance is given as 10 microfarad, right? Yeah. So 10 into 10 power minus 6. So we can count all the zeros, right? So 2 and 1 3. So this all get cancels. So this becomes 10 power minus 3, right? 10 power minus 3. So now 1 upon 10 power minus 3 is 10 power 3 radian per second. So D is the correct answer. D is the correct answer. So an easy question from alternating current, where the question was asked from resonance, the condition of resonance, right? So moving forward. Now again a question from, so this question not from alternating current, this question is from gravitation, right? So this has been mentioned wrong here. I think it's a typing error. So no problem. We can understand this is from gravitation. So nothing to worry, right? So see, what is the question here? A satellite is 9 times closer, right? 9 times closer to Earth compared to Moon. So let's the distance between the Earth and the Moon is R. So I'm considering here Earth, and like this is Moon. So this is orbiting in some radius R, right? And then we have one satellite which is orbiting in a smaller radius. So this radius is R by 9. So this is something like we can understand from here. And it's given the time period of Moon is 27 days. Then period of the satellite is what? So a very straightforward Kepler's third law we are going to use here. T square is proportional to what? R cube, right? So simply I can say that T square equals to some constant times R cube. I'm going to use this equation once for the Moon and one for the satellite. So time of Moon ka square, that is K into radius of Moon cube, and then for the satellite Ts square, K into Rs cube. So we have these two equations 1 and 2. So simply I'm going to divide these two equations. So I'll be getting what? Tm square upon Ts square. This constant K will get cancelled out. And this is Rm cube upon Rs cube. Now we have all the data. We can simply put the data and we'll solve it. So time period of the Moon is 27 days. We'll put it later on, right? So I'll simply write Tm by Ts equals to Rm upon Rs to the power of 3 by 2. Hai na? So now what is the radius of the Moon? This is R. And what is the radius of the satellite? This is R by 9. So 9 will be here. And this is 3 by 2. R will get cancelled. So 9 raised to the power of 3 by 2. So 9 raised to the power 1 by 2 is 3. And 3 raised to 3 is 27. So Tm by Ts is 27. So satellite, time period of the satellite is Tm by 27. And Tm is 27, right? Time period of the Moon is given as 27 days. So 27 upon 27, it will get cancelled in 1 day. So time period of the satellite will be 1 day. So this satellite will complete one rotation in 1 day, whereas the Moon is completing in 27 days. So it will be 1 upon 27 times. So factor of 27 is there. Coming to the next question. A question from semiconductor. Easy question only. Find a current in this circuit. Okay. So we are having two PN junction diode in the circuit. And you can see that this is higher potential and this is lower potential. So both the diodes, like this is P and this is N. So P is connected to higher potential. Here also this P is connected to higher potential. So both the diodes are connected in forward bias. So when both the diodes are connected in forward bias, then the resistance will become very less and it will act like a conducting wire. So now my circuit is what? This is simply a wire. This is also simply a wire. So now 20 and 20 are connected in parallel. So when 20 are connected in parallel, so R equivalent is what? This is 10 ohm. This is 10 ohm. Now the potential difference is 5 volt. So I can't expect a easy question than this. So V equals to IR. The simple equation we can apply. So 5 equals to I into R. R is 10. So I is what? 5 by 10. This is half ampere. The answer to this problem is half ampere. So a very easy question. And let's check. Okay. So we don't have any question in physics as of now. So I'll call chemistry faculty to come over here and discuss some questions from the chemistry. So like these questions are memory based. So we don't have all the question currently with us. So whatever questions we have got, so we have done the solution for those questions. And if we get some more question in some time, so definitely I'll come up again to discuss those questions with you. Till then, keep enjoying this session.
Hello, Javano. So far, chemistry paper always. To start करते हैं. Let's start with first question. pH of water at 25 degrees centigrade is 7, and on heating water to 25 degrees centigrade to 80 degrees centigrade, then what will be the effect on pH of water? So temperature will increase. So temperature will increase. So volume of solution. So volume of solution will decrease. So far, concentration of H plus ion from H2O will increase. So pH, we know how to calculate pH, negative logarithm of H plus ion concentration. So H plus ion concentration increases. That's why pH of water will decreases. So pH of water will decreases. So this question was easy. This question was from ionic equilibrium and the type was easy. So let's start with next question. Which one of the following plots represent zero order reaction? This question from chemical kinetics and this question also from easy section. Let's consider an reaction A tends to B. Let's consider this zero order reaction. Then rate of reaction is directly proportional to concentration of reactant raised to power 0. Then we know if rate of reaction does not depend on concentration, then graph will be rate between concentration will be linear, will be constant, sorry, will be constant. Then option D will be right. Let's take new question. This question from thermodynamics, in which by using relation delta G, which of the following is incorrect for spontaneous reaction at a given temperature? As we all know, for delta G, we have to calculate delta G equal to delta H minus T delta S, and for spontaneous reaction, delta G must be negative. But we have to calculate incorrect relation. We have to calculate incorrect relation. So for delta G must be negative for spontaneous reaction. So for incorrect relation, we have to calculate delta G must be positive. Then option D, if we saw option D, delta H positive, delta G equal to delta H minus T delta S. If we put delta H value positive, if we put delta H value positive and delta S value negative, then we have to give delta G must be positive. So incorrect relation will be option D. Let's take new question. It's also from mole concept and it was also from easy section. 81 gram aluminium react with 128 gram O2. Calculate the amount of Al2O3 is produced. So first we have to write a balanced chemical reaction. Aluminium plus O2 gas give Al2O3. So we have to balance it. 4 aluminium plus 3 O2 give 2 Al2O3. So far we have given 81 gram aluminium. We have given data 81 gram aluminium and 128 gram O2. So we have to calculate first moles of aluminium and moles of oxygen. Then, so first we calculate moles of aluminium. So we have to put formula moles given weight divided by molecular weight. So 81 divided by 27. So we have to get 3 moles of aluminium. And for oxygen, we have to given weight 128 gram and molecular weight for oxygen is 32 gram. So we have to get the moles of oxygen 4 mole. So according to chemical reaction, according to given balance reaction, 4 moles of aluminium react with 3 moles of oxygen. But we have to given 3 moles of aluminium and 4 moles of oxygen. So we have to find out the limiting reagent. So we have to find out limiting reagent. That's why one way to find limiting reagent will be we find ratio. That will be easy part. Ratio is equal to given mole divided by stoichiometric coefficient. Stoichiometric coefficient. And that reactant which will give minimum ratio will be the limiting reagent. So far, ratio for aluminium 3 divided by 4, and for oxygen this will be 4 divided by 3. So far we have to calculate the minimum ratio. We have to get aluminium will be the limiting reagent. Aluminium will be limiting reagent. So for aluminium will get 4 moles of aluminium. 4 moles of aluminium will get 2 moles of Al2O3. So 1 mole of aluminium will get 2 divided by 4. So half moles of Al2O3. So 3 moles of aluminium will get 3 by 2 moles of aluminium. But we have to find out the amount of Al2O3 in the terms of gram. So we have to calculate molar mass also 3 by 2 into if we have to calculate a molar mass of Al2O3, it will be, firstly we have to calculate molar mass of Al2O3. So 2 into 27 plus 3 into 16, 54 plus 48, 102. So for we have to get 153 gram Al2O3. So far this question from mole concept, and it was the concept of limiting reagent. So that was also from easy section. Let's check new question. It will be from electrochemistry. It will be from electrochemistry. So given data is, we have to give 4 different types of half cells in which we have to given E naught values. We have to ask which has most negative value of delta G naught. So we have to calculate, actually we have to calculate delta G naught, and delta G naught we have no delta G naught equal to minus NF E naught cell. Minus NF E naught cell. And we already know for the negative value of delta G naught, E naught must be positive. E naught must be positive. So we have to calculate most positive E naught values for these kind of cells. These kind of cells. So far we have to take first option. If we have to take first option, in which zinc electrode will behave as anode and silver electrode will behave as a cathode. So E naught cell, SRP of cathode minus SRP of anode. Either way, we also know SOP of anode plus SRP of cathode. Either way you have to calculate. So in first option, E naught cell value will be Zn. We have to calculate SOP of anode. So either 0.76 plus silver electrode will be 0.80. So we have to know 1.57 volt from first option. If we have to calculate B option, in which zinc electrode will behave as anode and magnesium electrode will behave as cathode. So far, to find out E naught value, so we have to find E naught value. SOP value of zinc will be 0.76 and SRP value of magnesium ion will be minus 2.36. So we have known E naught value will be negative. So let's take C option, in which copper ion will behave as anode and silver ion will behave as cathode. So in copper electrode, because it will behave as anode, its E naught value will be minus 0.34 and silver electrode value will be 0.80. So E naught value will be 0.46 volt. And for option D, copper electrode will behave as anode, so its value will be minus 0.34, and for magnesium ion, its value will be minus 2.36. So we already know E naught value will be negative. So we have to calculate most negative value of delta G naught. So most positive value of E naught we have to calculate, and that will be from option A. So it was from also in easy question which asked from electrochemistry. let's take new question in which it was from atomic structure, in which two statements are given. Statement number 1, for given value of principal quantum number n, the number of orbital is n square. I think it is database question, and we already know for a principal quantum number n, the number of orbital will be n square. So this statement will be correct. And for statement 2, for given value of n, number of subshell will be, number of subshell is equal to 0 to n minus 1. We already know from azimuthal quantum number, we already calculate number of subshell. So this statement is also correct. So both statements are correct. So option B will be correct. It was from easy medium, but it is written from medium. So no problem. So thank you, friends. Let's take a chemistry section from organic chemistry. Inorganic chemistry. Please come, Amardeep sir, and guide the students.
Correct. Okay. Hello, students. Now we will discuss IOC, organic chemistry, that came in your examination in shift of D. So the first question which is given in the paper was the melting point order of group 14 element. It was asked from you what's the order of melting point of group 14 element. Melting point only one primary factor, which is the better packing factor, which in terms depend on size. Smaller the size, better will be packing. So by that logic, down the group, the melting point should decrease, but PB, because of its better packing fraction, as it acquire FCC, have slightly better, yeah, you can more melting point than that of your. Have a look, please. Carbon, germanium, lead. Because of better packing, lead will be having better melting point, of acid. Correct option will be carbon, then silicon, germanium, lead, and then tin. So your first question. Next question was about the alloys and the metal with which those alloys are formed. So we have to match the list of this case with only one of the option you can get the correct one. Look at this. Your stainless steel will be having Fe, right? FeCr nickel. This will be your stainless. Okay, stainless steel will be having Fe, SCr, and nickel in it. Gold metal. और यू एजी आता है ऑप्शन ऑप्शन ही नहीं है हाँ पीछे से तो करेक्ट ऑप्शन है ही नहीं कहाँ है मेरा पर्चा? पर्चे से देख के लिख दूँ ना? कोई दिक्कत? अरे सर, ऐसे ऐसे रखेंगे ना यहाँ, कैमरे में नहीं है। एक मिनट अभी हटाना मत, आ रहा है देखो, आ रहा है क्या क्वेश्चन है? ठीक है, थिंक करना है, तो आएगा या ए जी आएगा? मैंने भी सी ए जी आएगा, पर ए जी जिंक। ओके, हाँ, ओके, and your bronze will be Cu and Sin, so A will match with 2, and here with C and I there should be Zn also, will be the basic metal which are forming your super UK coin. Brass will be made from copper and zinc. This is your correct match. A matches with your 2, B matches with 1, C matches with 4, and D matches with 3. So this is your correct option. Here you should add Ag also as one of the metal. Might be slight typing error. So this question already discussed by Himanshu. For the two statement, the slight change in the statement number 2 is that the number of orientation lies from minus L to plus L, including 0. Is it a true statement? The answer is yes. Actually, this is your ML value, magnetic quantum number value. Each value of an ML corresponds orientation of an orbital along which axis the orbital is oriented, between which axis the orbital is oriented, right? So ML, each value of ML will give you the orientation of orbital. So from here, the statement 1 as well as statement, both the statement are correct. So option B will be the correct option for this question also. Now we will move on to organic chemistry. And I will request Prasanna Rane sir to please come and guide the student in organic chemistry.
This is Ranesh sir. So let us continue our. So this is our first question. They are asking us which in having both alpha helix and beta pleated. Definitely, we already know this is a fact-based question, and secondary has both alpha helix as well as beta pleated. Definitely, it is a fact-based question that secondary has both alpha helix and definitely secondary will be a our answer. Okay, it has both alpha helix as well as. So it is a very simple question, fact-based question. Let us see the next question. So this is our second question of organic chemistry. There is some error in this question. As we can see, we are having this chlorobenzene reacted with NaOH, and this is called DOS process. OH violence will be reacting over this position, and we know that there is an intermediate called benzene over here, and the final product will be phenol, the first step. Next, we are having oxidation by this good oxidizing agent Na2Cr2O7. The oxidizing agent, it will be oxidizing this phenol. We will be getting this benzoquinone. So definitely there is error in this second option. We will be having this second option as our answer. Is phenol, and second one benzo. Okay, so second option, B option will be our answer. Let us see the next question. What is our next question? Compare rate of solvolysis. So dear students, already you know solvolysis means this will be our SN1 reaction. In this, we already know that the benzyl position is a very stable position for the carbocation. Here, if you break the bond electrolytically, get Br minus and carbocation over here. This is benzyl position with a one phenyl group attached. Over here also, we are having electrolytically bond cleavage, Br minus and carbocation formation. But there are two pH groups. So definitely this is more stable than this one. And over here, if we break the bond electrolytically, we are having carbocation with how many? 3 plus 1, 4 alpha hydrogen. And finally, in this, if we break this heterolytically, Br minus and this 4 carbocation, we are having 2 plus 2 plus 3, 7 alpha hydrogen. So if we see over here, this B1 will be the most stable because this is having benzyl position with two pH groups. Then this is also a benzyl position carbocation with one pH group. Then we are having 7 hyperconjugation over here. Will be second last most stable, and the last stable will be C1, which is having only 4 alpha hydrogens, 4 hyperconjugates. So this was a simple question regarding the solvolysis. Let us see the next question. Okay, this is also an easy question. As you can see, dear students, it is related to reductive ozone. And this is a very easy method over there. It's a simple trick. Wherever you see a pi bond, is a double bond, you have to break over here and attach oxygens. So if you see over here, you can break this bond and this double bond will be broken and you apply oxygen and oxygen. Over here also you apply oxygen and oxygen. So definitely you can see over here, simply we are getting this P as the option. So one, we are having P. Then you can see over here also we have to do the same thing. Break the double bond and apply O and O. You can see over here we are getting this R as the option. You can see over here CHO, CHO, and then after your here CHO, and then if you break over here, you can see is a ketone we are getting over. So definitely you can see the second is having R as our option. Next, here also the same thing, reductive osmosis, break the double bond, apply oxygen, oxygen over here, same thing over here. And you can see definitely over here that here we will get CHO, 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 and then after that we are having here CHO and here CHO, CHO, CHO. You can clearly over see that we are getting for the third as Q as our option. And finally, let us see the fourth one. You can see you can have osmosis over here, taking the double bonds and applying oxygen, oxygen. Same over here. You can see we are getting ketone over here, CHO over here. Here also ketone and CHO over here. Straight away we are having for the fourth Q as our option. This is the final question of organic chemistry. If we get more questions, definitely we will also solve them. Thank you. Let's continue with math section.
ये इसमें माइक में आवाज नहीं आ रही। यहाँ तो आवाज नहीं आ रही। आपने बंद किया रखा है ये? Hello students, today in mathematics paper there are some very good questions and they are very also easy. Okay, so let us start from the question 1. The question is this question belongs to the probability, and the question is what, if a square is divided in 4 by 4 squares, if two squares are chosen randomly, then find the probability that the squares does not share common side. Matlab means here the sides are not taken common. Okay, so what we do first? So first we do what? Listen, first we do, if you want to find the probability, so for probability you want n of e upon n of s, right? So for n of s, what you taken? For n of s to taken, because there are total sides are what? 1 2 3 4 5 6, and it means here the total sides, total the squares of 1 by 1 is 16. So you have to take two squares, means here the total n of s is 16c2, right? Now the question is what? That the square does not share the common side, means you have to take such squares whose the sides are not common, means you cannot take these sides, these squares, you cannot take these squares, means this is wrong. Either you cannot take also this type of square, because here the side is common. So what we do? So we do actually, if we take n of e, so n of e means if I take the total number of possible squares, that is 16c2, and in this case we have to remove what type of squares? The number of squares number of squares whose are common, which sides, okay. So tell me what the number of squares whose are the common sides. So let's start. Actually, if you take this one, so here if you take this one, so this is what, one square means this is one case, this is two case, this is three case. And in this situation there are three such squares which have the same common side, like this one, and this one, right? So here in the vertical case there are three squares, three pair of squares which have the common sides. Now here again, if I take this vertical squares of pair, so here these common sides, again this is also common sides, again if you take, this is again the square common sides, means here 3, and here also the same process, here also the same process. So 3 means here the total case for vertical situation, the total number of squares of pairing that have the common sides, that is 12. Because how? Because here 3 case, here 3 case, here 3 case, and here 3 case. So it means 3 into 4. Now let us search for horizontal. So for horizontal is what? This is also the same, because if you take this pair of squares, then again the common side, this is case, is again the same common side. Then if you take this pair, then again the same common side. Means here if you take the horizontal case, then again this is 3 times, this is 3 times, this is 3 times, and this is also 3 times. So it means these are vertical case and these are also horizontal case. So there are total number of cases of such situations that the two pair of squares are not share the common sides are 16C2 minus 24. So this is our N of E. So if you find out P of E, so our P of E is what? 16C2 minus 24 divided by 16C2, right? Student understand? Now you have to find out the value of 16C2. So 16C2 means what? 16 factorial, 2 factorial, and 14 factorial. Means this is 16 into 15 upon 2 only, minus 24 upon 16 into 15 upon 2, right? Is clear? Now this is 8, this is 1 by 120, 120 minus 24, this is 16, this is 8 actually, this is 8 into 15, okay? So this is what? 120 minus 24, this is what? This is 6, this is 11, 996 upon 120, right? So you have to only calculate by this one. So this is what? 16, 6 how much? If you take by 4, 4 2 is 8, 4 4 is 16, 30, 4 6 is 4 5 is 4 6 is not this correct, calculate by this one. This is 4 2 is 8, 4 4 is 16, and 4 3 is this is 30. So if you take by cut by 6, so 6 4 is and 6 5 is. So our answer is 4 by 5 bacho. So in the first question, our answer is B option, that is 4 by 5. Okay. Now let us take the next one. Let us take the next one. This question is what? Actually this question, let the S be the region consisting of the points x, y such that -1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1, means the value of x interval is what? -1 to 1, and our function is lying between 0 to this condition. Our function is lying between 0 to this condition, and if the area bounded by the region, if the area bounded by region means this one, if the area bounded by this one is given already beta, then how you find the value of A? Then how you find the value of A? So it means it is already given that our y means our function fx, that is given. What is what? A plus e to the power mod of x minus e to the power minus mod of x, right? So our function is given, and our function is where belonging from 0 to this value, yani a plus e to the power mod x minus e to the power minus mod x. So how can you find this? The reason, so reason is what? You have to take the limit from -1 to 1. It means you have to take the reason, any shaded region is what? Shaded region is what? So shaded region is what? So means our y is from 0 to, means our region is what? From above x-axis. Our region is what? Taken above x-axis. So our region is what? Our x-axis, and the limit is from -1 to 1. Okay. And now the function is what? The function is a plus e to the power mod x minus e to the power minus mod x, and that is dx. Now, how can you find this? Student, you know that in our function, actually this function is how type? This function is even type, because if you replace x by minus x, our function is same. So that means if you take from -1 to 1, so you can also write this 2 times of from 0 to 1. This is a plus, and you know that mod x is lying between 0 to 1, it becomes plus. So this is e to the power x, this is e to the power minus x, and this is our dx, and that's value is equal to what? 2 times of e square plus at plus 1 upon e, right? So it means you only just find this value, you have to integrate now, right? So our integration is what? Our integration is 2 into, this is a, so this becomes ax, this becomes ax, and this is e to the power x, so this is same e to the power x, and this is e to the power minus x minus of, so this becomes plus e to the power minus x. And student, you have to take the limit from 0 to 1, and that's value is equal to what? 2 times of e square plus e square plus at plus 1 divided by e. But you have to cancel this 2, and now if you put the value of 1, so this becomes a plus e to the power minus 1, and when you put 0, then this becomes 0 plus e to the power 0 1 plus e to the power minus 1 again 1, right? And this is what? This is e square at plus 1 upon e, right? Now how can you solve this? Very simple calculation. As a plus 1 by e, you have to write this is -2 beta, and this is e square plus 8e upon e plus 1, 8e plus 1 upon e, right? So here you can also write this, if you divide by e, so this is e plus 8 plus 1 by e, so that's why this will be cancelled out. When this will be cancelled out, then this also e cancel out. Then our a minus 1 is what? 8. Then our a is what? Then our a is what? What to find? A minus 2. A, yes, this is a minus 2, it is 8. So this our a is 10. Okay. So from this type of question, you have to take this concept only. This is a very easy concept, that you have to take only the limit from -1 to 1, and you have to find the shaded region, right? Now let us take next one. This is also a very easy question, that there are 5 boys and 4 girls. Student, we always discuss these type of questions in our permutations, and this type of condition is very easy in JEE Mains today, tip to 2025, that there are 5 boys, 4 girls, and the sum of number of ways that sit them such that all boys sit together, such that all boys sit together. So bachcho, listen, actually there are number of boys are 5, number of girls 4. Now listen, the first case is what? The first case is, if you take M, the first case is what? That there are 5 boys and 4 girls, number of it, all boys sit together, means you have to combine all the boys. like B1, B2 up to B5. You have to combine this one in a one group. And now the girls are separate. The girls are separate, right? So listen, this is collabing. Yani means you have to take this is as a one unit, and this is plus 4. So these are only 5 cases. So number of ways is what? Number of ways is these are arranging by 5 factorial. But listen, actually these 5 boys also can interchange their position by 5 factorial ways. So the first case, the total number of ways that all boys sit together are the cases 5 factorial into 5 factorial. Now the second case is what? The second case is taken n, and it is saying that the number of ways such that no boys sit together, means it is a group gap method. It is a gap method. Means what the condition apply in the person, you have to sit first the next one, means the another function persons, means you have to arrange first the girls. So we have to arrange the first girls. There are 4 girls, so these can arrange in 4 factorial, and due to which, you know, if there are n things, and if you have to make the arranging in the linear permutation, so it is arranged, and then the gap is how much? N plus 1 gaps. So by default, if you take the 4 girls sit in a linear permutation by 4 factorial, then you know that there are 5 gaps. In these 5 gaps, our 5 boys can sit by 5 factorial. And now you want what? You want that you want to find the sum of numbers of these all case, these both case. Means you want m plus n, bacha. Means you have to take 5 factorial into 5 factorial and plus 4 factorial into 5 factorial. From here, you can take 5 factorial into 4 factorial common. You getting what? You getting 5 plus 1 only, beta. So this becomes what? This is 120, this is 24, and this is our 6. So this is what? This is 720, and this is 24, beta. So now you have to multiply this one, and you can also calculate this in the easy way. How much? Please, 120 means you can write 120 into 12 into 2 into 6. This is 12 into 12 into 12. This is 12 ka cube into 10. Okay. So you know that 12 cube is what? 1728. 1728. So this is 1728, and this is 0. So this is our answer, that the 5 boys and 4 girls sit in such a manner. Okay. Now let us check the next one. This question. But in this question, listen carefully. Actually, there is a trick also in this question, because if you not use the trick of this, then the calculation becomes very much hard. Because you know, in the case of variance, if you add a fixed value like k in all the terms, or you have to subtract a fixed value k in all the terms, the variance remains unchanged. But if you know, if you multiply by k in all the terms, the variance becomes k square. So how you judge this? So bache, you know that our gap is how much? Our gap is 13. Our gap is 13. So if you take a trick, that if you add in all the terms by 5, just listen, if you add all in terms like 5, then this becomes 13, this becomes 21, means 26, this becomes 39, and if you add here, then this becomes 325. Right, bacha? Now listen, if you add 5 in these all terms, the situation becomes same, because the variance is always same. So how can you find the variance of this? Beta, if you find the variance of this, the answer is same for also the given question. Okay. Now what we do? You know that the formula of variance, The formula of variance is sigma xi square upon n minus sigma xi upon n whole square. Beta, this is mean. You know this is mean. And this is sigma xi square upon n. So here you just find the value of n. How can you find the value of n, beta? Because these all the terms are in AP. If these all the terms are in AP, so how can you find this? You can find like this. If you take also 13, 26, the terms are same. So if you take 8, 21, 34, and the last term is 320. So Tn is 320. This is 8 plus n minus 1, and this is 13, right? So this is 312 divided by 13. This is n minus 1. This divided by this 24. Then our n is 25. So we take the n over 25. Now you here put the value of sigma xi square. Sigma xi square means you have to take all the terms like 13 square, 26 square, 39 square, and this is what 325 means, right? Square. And this is what? This is 25. And this is what? Sigma xi. Sigma xi means 13 plus 26 plus dot 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 325 divided by 25, right, bacha? And you take the squaring. Okay? Okay? Now just take the common 13 square here. If you take if you take 13 square plus 26 square plus 39 square, means you can take the 13 square as a common, right? Okay, then what is the terms? 1 square plus 2 square, then how much here? 26 square, 25 square, right? And this is what? 25. This is what? 25. And this is what? This is you take 13, then this is again 13 square. And here the terms are 1 plus 2 plus dot 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 25 upon 25, that's square. Okay. Now this becomes what? This is 13 square, you have to take common. This is the 13 square, you have to take common, and you know this is 25. So this becomes sigma n square. Sigma n square means n plus 1 into 2n plus 1. 2n plus 1 upon 6, right? This is n plus 1, 2n plus 1 by 6 upon 25, right? This is 25, right? And this is what? This is minus, this is n into n plus 1 by 2 into 25. This is whole square, right? Right? This is 25, n into n plus 1 by 25, right? Correct. Now you have to calculate this. But you know that you can also take 25 into 2 common. This is 13 square upon, you can also take 25 and 2 also common. So this is 25, you have to take common, right? So what you getting? Getting 25, 26 and 51. And here you are getting only 3, and minus, this is minus. And you getting what? 25 into 26 upon 2 into 25, that's square, beta. Okay. Now listen, this cancel, this is again 13 square. And this is what? 17. This is 13 square upon 2 into 25. This is what? A little calculation of here. This is 25. This is 26. This is 17 minus. Again, this is 13 square. Okay. Now you can take here 13 again. So this is 13 square into 13 taken common upon 2 into 25. And here what you getting? You getting 50 into 17 means 850. Minus 13 only. Getting? This is 13 cube into, this is what? This is 7. This is 4, 5, any 3, and this is 8 upon 2 into 25, right? Okay. अरे ये ऐसे कर ये from ये this is cancel out boy 25 and this is 3 ja this is 16 13 okay this is 13 and after that this is 17 okay this is 13 square this is 13 into 17 minus here this will be cancelled 13 square okay so this is 13 square into 13 common 17 minus 13 okay this is 13 cube into 13 cube into 4 and this becomes the calculation of this will be 8788 okay bachcho this is 8788 okay now next in this question actually in this question that there is a little mistake in this question actually in this question the little mistake is what that the point is actually 1 by 2 comma 1 right the point is actually what 1 by 2 comma 1 so first you know that the question is what that this is a ellipse and the ellipse is what x square by 2 plus y square by 4 and this is 1 so if you write down the ellipse of this beta this is the horizontal vertical ellipse so this is the vertical ellipse it is given that this is the vertical ellipse and you know that there is a chord of this there is a chord of this and the point of this midpoint is what the midpoint is 1 by 2 comma 1 so it means if there is a chord like this right and here the midpoint is given the midpoint is what 1 by 2 comma 1 so bacho you want what the length of chord means you want to find the length of this one if you want to find the length of this one then how can you find this so first what we do first we find out the equation of chord this one means this is AB so first you have to find the equation of chord so equation of chord how can you find this if the equation of chord bisected at a given point is given so equation of chord becomes what this is t is equal to s1 when this is t is equal to s1 then t means like the tangent at 1 by 2 comma 1 so this becomes x1 x1 means 1 by 2x upon 2 plus y1 means y upon 4 minus 1 is equal to s1 means you have to take the point 1 by 2 and 1 putting in the x and place of y so this becomes 1 by 4 means 1 by 8 this is 1 by 4 and this is minus 1 so from here getting x by 4 means x plus y upon 4 and that is what this is what 8 by 4 plus 4 by 8 means this is 8 so this is 3 by 8 right this is 4 by 2 so this you getting x plus y that is 3 by 2 bacha right now listen if you have to take this is the line this is the chord and if you take the these points a and b like this if you take this one x1 y1 if you take x2 y2 so bacho here the question is asking what that the you have to find the length of chord means you have to find the length of AB so if you want to find the length of AB so our the value is what x1 minus x2 that's whole square plus y1 minus y2 that's whole square right now how can you find this bacha listen here what happened actually if you take x1 minus x2 so this is x1 minus x2 right and listen actually what happened here if you take y so this is y means what 3 by 2 minus x so better listen the question is what actually if you take here y1 so this becomes 3 by 2 minus x1 and if you take y2 then this becomes 3 by 2 minus x2 correct So what we do? So we do, if you take y1 minus y2, so this will be cancelled. You again getting what? X2 minus x1 getting, right? Getting again the same value. So these become same. When these become same, then you can write mod of x2 minus x1 into root 2. Achha. Getting this. Now, how can you find the x2 minus x1? So x2 minus x1 is very easy. How you find? You have to find out the point of intersection of this chord with the ellipse, and the ellipse is given. And just make assure that you have to write the value of y 3 by 2 minus x put in this equation. So what you getting? Actually, the ellipse is what? The ellipse is x square by 2 and plus y square by 4, and this is 1. So you have to put only what? You have to put only the value of y here. What the value of y here? Value of y is 3 by 2 minus x. This is x square upon 2. This is what? This is 3 by 2 minus x. That's whole square beta. This is 4 and this is equal to 1. But listen, now you getting here what? The quadratic equation in terms of x. And here the roots of this quadratic equation is what? x1 and x2. So you have only find out the equation of quadratic in from here. Just take the LCM of 4, then you getting 2x square and you getting 3 by 2 minus x whole square and you getting here 4. Now the calculation is what? You getting 3x is 2x square, 9 by 4 plus x square minus 3x minus 4, that becomes 0. You getting what? You getting 3x square minus 3x minus 7 by 4, that is 0. Now you take the LCM 4, then this is 12x square minus 12x minus 7, 0. Here the roots are x1, x2. The sum of roots is what? 1. And the product of root is what? Minus 7. And you want what? Mod of x2 minus x1. So you what apply? Under root x1 plus x2 whole square minus 4 x1 x2, right? This becomes what? 1 plus 28. 1 plus 28. So this is what? Root 29, right? So this is what? This is actually here the option is what? Again x2 minus x1. X sum of root is, the equation is correct, okay? X1 plus x2 is 1 and the product of root is what? Product of root is, yes, 7 by 12. So this is what? 7 by 12. This becomes only root of x1 plus x2 whole square means 1 minus 4 into minus 7 by 12. Bacha. This becomes 3. This becomes what? Under root of 1 plus 7 by 3. 1 plus 7 by 3. This becomes what? 10 by 3. 10 by 3. Root 10 by 3. So you getting what? Actually the length is this. So the our value is root 2 into root 10 by root 3, right? This one. This one. But the option, I think option is wrong. I think option is wrong. So our value is what? Our value is what? This is root 2 means 2 root 5 by root 3 answer. I think the option is wrong actually. Correct answer is this. Now bacho, here the next one is also very easy. In this question actually in this paper I think the mathematics paper is very moderate, not hard, okay? And the calculation is also very easy. A little bit some questions are calculated by taking this a little time. So here actually if the student know that there is a fixed value, that if you take cos theta, if you take cos pi by 3 minus theta, if you take cos pi by 3 plus theta. So here the value of here pi by 3 plus theta, pi by 3 minus theta, and cos theta. If you find no other, you can also derive for this. You know that the value of this is directly 1 by 4 cos 3 theta. If you directly solve this, you getting 1 by 4 cos 3 theta. So here from this calculation, you getting this and this value is what? 1 by 4 cos 3 theta. So our function fx becomes 6 plus 16 into 1 by 4. This becomes cos 3x, and our again sin 3x, and our again cos 6x. Now bache see, this is 4. You take this 4 here, then this becomes 6 plus 2 sin 6x. Now this is cos 6x. So again this becomes what? 6 plus sin 12x. Now listen, this is our fx. You know our sin 12x range is what? Our sin 12x range is -1 to 1. So if you add the 6, here, you getting what? You getting 5 to, this is our fx 7, right? So our alpha and beta, we getting this what? 5 comma 7. This is our alpha beta. Now what the another question is what? That you have to find the length of perpendicular from this line from 5 comma 7. So you just take the d is equal to mod of ax1. Ax1 means 3 into 5. 3 into 5 plus this is 4y means 4 into 7. 4 into 7 plus this is what? This is 12. And you know root over of 3 square plus 4 square. Okay. Now you getting what? You getting 15. 28 plus 12. And this is what? This is 5. Getting this is 55. Getting here 5. The answer is 11. Okay. Question is correct. Question is complete. Okay. Now the math is complete. The question is also remaining. But our physics teacher again discuss the remaining questions of physics. Okay. Thank you so much, beta. Thank you.
नहीं, अच्छा उसमें बजेगा. Hello everyone.
So let's continue with some more physics questions. All right. So now the next question is of modern physics, dual nature of radiation and matter. What they are saying, light of wavelength lambda is incident on the metal having the work function of, the work function is 3.4 eV. Okay. The stopping potential is given for the photoelectric current setup is 1.6 eV. Let's say this is 1.6 volts. So Vs is 1.6 volts. Now see, basically, what do we write in your Einstein's equation of photoelectric effect? That the incident radiation energy is equals to the Kemax of the photoelectrons plus the work function. Let's say work function is W only. Okay. So incident radiation energy can be written as your Hc by lambda Kemax. Now Kemax basically comes from where? It comes from the stopping potential. So we know that the Kemax is equals to E into the stopping potential EVS. Tick. From here we can get the Kmax. Now the voltage stopping potential is given as 1.6. So Kmax is 1.6 EV. Okay, in electron volts. Alright, so Kmax I can write here as 1.6 EV and the work function is 3.4 EV. So the net becomes 1.6, 3.4, 5 electron volts. Now see, if we write the energy in electron volts and we take this lambda in angstrom, so the value of Hc we use is 12400. If the lambda is in angstrom. Alright. Now, if we just cross multiply, then the lambda will be 12400 upon 5 and it will be in the angstrom. So it will become 2480 angstrom. Okay. So this is the question from our modern physics in which we just need to remember this photoelectric equation and the relation of Kmax and the stopping potential. Okay. Go to the next question. Now it's the very easy question of electrostats. They are saying that two charged particles are there, 7 coulomb and minus 4 coulomb. They are located at minus 7 and 7. So let's suppose that one charge 7 coulomb is placed at minus 7, 0, 0 and the other charge 4 coulomb, minus 4 coulomb is placed at 7, 0, 0. They are simply asking you find the electrostatic potential energy of the system of these two charges. Right? So just the two charges are there, so we know what is the potential energy. It's simply K Q1 Q2 upon R distance. The value of Coulomb's constant is 9 into 10 to the power 9. And the charge here is, one of the charges is 7 coulombs and the other charge is minus 4 coulombs. The distance between them, let's suppose that this distance is given in meters. Okay, SI units. So the total distance will be what? 7 plus 7, 14. That's 14. Let's just cancel this thing. 2. So minus sign comes outside and it is 9 into 2, 18 into 10 ki power 9. Okay. So simply it is minus 18 into 10 to the power 9. That is the question. Let's go to the next question. Now this next question is of surface tension, basically mechanical properties of the fluid surface tension. See here, whenever we have a bubble, let's say if it's a air bubble in the water or it's a water bubble in the air or it's a soap bubble, anything. So we know what's the formula of excess pressure. The pressure inside is always greater than the outside pressure just to overcome the surface tension forces to make this spherical bubble intact. Okay. Now the excess pressure formula for a bubble will be 2s by r. Let's keep this thing in mind. Alright. So here the situation is given. If the atmospheric pressure is 10 to the power 5, the density of the water is 10 to the power 3 in SI units. Find the pressure inside the bubble of this radius. So if the question is simply asking what is the absolute pressure, so absolute pressure will be the atmospheric pressure plus the gauge pressure plus the excess pressure. So gauge pressure will be rho gh and the excess pressure will be 2s by r. if they are just asking ki what is the gauge pressure or what is the pressure above the atmospheric pressure, then we are going to answer this part. Okay, let's see. So P naught plus the density will be 10 to the power 3 into G into the height h they have given is 20 centimeters, so 20 by 100 plus 2s by r. So surface tension of the water is given as 72 into 10 to the minus 3. Everything here is in SI units. And this radius of the bubble is 1 millimeter. So that is 10 to the minus 3 meters. Now this will be the pressure. So P naught plus, this is 2000. And this is 2 into 72, 144. So it will be P naught plus 2144. And in SI units, so it is Pascal. Okay, so if the answer is just asking the absolute pressure, we are going to answer this. If it is asking the pressure above the atmospheric pressure or the gauge pressure, we are going to answer 2144 Pascal. All right, let's go to the next one. Energy of the system, they have given it varies with the position and the time as this function. So it's a nice question of error analysis. Let's see how do we solve it. Energy is given as x cube e to the power minus beta t. All right. Now, this kind of problem, if we have multiple quantities, so we should keep in mind ki if the multiplication of quantities is there, then we use the fractional error or the percentage error and they get added. If it is just the formula of addition, subtraction, then we use the absolute error. But here I see, what do we see? Here is the exponential function also. So directly we cannot decide which formula to apply. So best thing will be in such difficult scenarios, go with the basic concept of differentiation, because differentiation gives us the differential change or simply the error. Okay. So I'll say ki differentiate this energy function with respect to time. Let's say for the timing, let's differentiate it with respect to the time. And keeping in mind that E, X and T, all the three are variable quantities. So dE by dt on this side. Now here you just need to follow a product rule. So differentiation of this will be 3x square dx by dt. And this term is just multiplied as it is. All right. Plus. Now the differentiation of next term, though x cube, and the differentiation of e to the power minus beta t will be minus beta into e to the power minus beta t. And that's just with respect to t, so nothing else. Now see, this thing can simply be written if I just cross multiply on that side. Just cross multiply the dt on the other side. So what does it become? 3x square. From here we just remove the dt again. And let's write this e to the power minus beta t here to dx. And here we'll multiply that dt. Now remember that one thing, this is just the differentiation formula, but in the error analysis, the errors will always be added. So we are going to add this thing here. So I'll just put a plus sign instead of minus. So don't get confused, where did the minus sign go? It's just the errors are always getting added. Alright, so x cube beta times e to the power minus beta t into dt. Now here I want to take your attention to the point. This dE is nothing but the error in E. This dx is nothing but the error in x, and this dt is nothing but the error in the time, which is what they are asking or they have given. Okay. Alright, now see. Since I know ki this formula, they have given the percentage error in the question. So my first let's say the first concept or first point comes to my mind is ki let's use the point of your fractional error. Let's use the concept of fractional error. So if percentage error in your position and the time is given, so I'll try to find the fractional error. So dx by by x, the fractional error in the position x will be 1.2 divided by 100, 1.2% or per 100, and the dt by t will be 1.6 per 100%. So I got this fractional error and I got this. So certainly what next step should be there? Can we find the fractional error in E also? So now see, this is the most intuitive part of this question. You divide the whole equation by E. Whatever the original formula of E was given, we divide the whole equation. Now this becomes the fractional error in E. And see here, this is 3x square e to the power minus beta d, while the formula of E also has the similar terms. ठीक? So put it here. So 3x square e to the power minus beta t, and put it here x cube e to the power minus beta t, and this is dx. So here what you see ki most of the terms get cancelled and I'll get x, which becomes the fractional error. Plus, now here also this whole term will get cancelled, so I'll just get the beta into dt. But this is the trouble here. ठीक? They are not giving, or they have not used the formula of fractional error, just the absolute error in this. So we need to be little careful here. Alright, fine. So this thing, if I just cancel a few terms, then it becomes 3 times the fractional error in x. That's good to go because we know this thing. Plus beta times dt. Now for this dt, they have given key at t is equals to 5 seconds we need to find. So no worries, we can use the concept of fractional error. So here the dt will be 1.6 upon 100 into the time which is given. So it's easy to calculate. 1.6 into 5. So this will be around what? 8. So 8 by 100. So I got the absolute error in time as 8 by 100. So let's carry forward this calculation. So 3 into, now fractional error is given as 1.2. So 1.2 upon 100 plus beta is given as 0.3. So 0.3. Okay, and this thing we found as 8 upon 100. What do we get here? This is your 3.6 upon 100, and this is 2.4 upon 100. So that's 6 upon 100. So this is the fractional error in energy, 6 upon 100. So now you just need to multiply it by 100 to get the percentage error. So maximum percentage error in E, D by E into 100 will be simply 6%. This is how we are going to solve the tougher problems of your error analysis. Just use the concept of differentiation, and wherever you get the minus sign, put a plus sign. That's it. Now the next question is, in the electromagnetic wave, the frequency is given. The value of electric field is 9.3 volt per meter. The magnitude of magnetic field at that instant. Now you just need to remember the formula of your magnitude of electric field upon the magnitude of magnetic field, or the amplitude of electric field upon the amplitude of magnetic field will be nothing but just the speed of light. So there is no need of this frequency. The frequency will just change the lambda. It will not change the speed of light. Check. So electric field is 9.3 volt per meter in SI units, and we need to find the V. You all know what's the value of C. So I'll write V is equals to 9.3 into 3 into 10 to the power 8, which is simply 3.1 upon 10 to the power 8, or 3.1 into 10 to the power minus 8. Straightforward. Okay, so that's the C option which is matching. Next one. Alright, now this question is a very simple and easy question, and my friend will continue from here.
Very good evening to all of you. So we are going to continue with our discussion of question for physics. So over here, we have been given a match the following with the dimensions of separate quantities. Okay, so over here, it becomes easier to eliminate the options. If we decide go forward with magnetic moment. What is magnetic moment? Magnetic moment is the dimension of current is, and A over here is area. So area can be written as for magnetic moment, and in here we have only one that corresponds to this. So just by calculating this one, you can get the correct answer. But we'll also just look forward to what the correct questions are, answers are. Let's take up torsional constant. Torsional constant tau is K over here is torsional constant. Theta is a supplementary dimension, so we're not going to take the dimensions of theta. For tau, it's written get L2. I have the option for torsional constant. For magnetic moment, I have the option 2. For magnetic induction, we can use the formula of F is equal to L. Here, magnetic induction B by, and we get the value as, so from here magnetic automatically permeability will be ML1 A minus 2 T2. All right. So very easy question, very simple. Next, over here we have been given a capacitance and a voltage source. There's a current flowing through this. They have asked us rate of change of voltage. It's a very easy question. Current is given 0.25 milliamperes. From the formula of capacitance, charge V. From here, what we can do is we can differentiate on both sides, so we get by dt equals, as it is a constant, right? This is the value that we have to find. dq by dt is nothing but the current. Current value is given as 0.25 to 10 power minus 3. Capacitance is given 5 microfarads. 5 calculating from here, get the value of dq by dt as 10 power 3. All right. Now that was all for the questions of physics right now. Further, we will be discussing questions from mathematics. Thank you.
अरे यार, गलत बात है। जरा जाओ जाओ मेरी क्या मेरी इंग्लिश नहीं सुन पाओगे आप। इट्स गुड फॉर मी, है ना। कम से कम वो बेइज्जती इतनी कम हो उतना अच्छा रहता है। क्या आ गया ना क्या। Hello students, good evening. I am Arun. I welcome you all on this channel again. So basically we were discussing about the JEE Mains 2025 25th January second shift paper, and I know most of you have attempted it in a very good way, and some students are there which are going to attempt the paper tomorrow or after day after tomorrow in this session. So basically the paper was very we can say in mathematics section it was moderate, but yes, since the maths is involved, there are lots of calculations are involved, and if you think about the calculations, so the paper can always say it is moderate. You can't say maths is always easy. Although the questions are easy, you can solve the questions, you can approach the question, but in 1 hour, if you think about ki there is only 1 hour and we have to attempt all the 25 questions, that can be very challenging for many students. So let's try to solve some questions here again. I know you have solved previously some questions, and now we are going to solve some other questions. So let's talk about these questions. The shortest distance, there is a parabola, and the only correction in this question is this point is a comma 0. So the point is lying on the x-axis and parabola is y square equal to 4x. So obviously the a in the parabola is equal to 1. This question can be made confusing if there is also a b given, okay, but since it is not there, so it is good for us. So let's suppose this point is 1 comma 0. This is focus, obviously, yes, and the point is p, which is a comma 0. It can be anywhere on the axis of parabola. Okay, find the equation of circle whose center lies on the axis of parabola and passing through P and the focus of the parabola. So basically, we have to find out the equation of circle which is passing from F and P. So now look, we have to, and the center of the parabola is the axis of the circle. So basically, P and F must be the diameter of the circle. So just we have to find out the point A. Only this is the required condition. Now the shortest distance between any two curve lies along the common normal. So in this case, we have to draw a normal on this parabola from an external point or from any point actually. The equation of this normal can be written in parametric form. Let's suppose the parametric form are t square comma 2t. So the equation of normal in the parametric form is tx plus y is equal to 2t plus t cube. Now, since this normal is passing from point A, point P, so I'll just put A and 0, TA is equal to 2t plus t cube, or I can say that t square plus 2 is equal to A. This is the first relation between T and A. Now, the distance between this point A and P is given as 4. So I can say that if AP is equal to 4, so I can applying the distance formula, AP square also equal to 4 square. So T square minus A whole square plus 2T whole square is equal to 16. And in this case, as we know, T square minus A is equal to 2. So this is 2 square 4 and this is 4T square 16, or I can say 4T square is equal to 12 and T square is equal to 3. Now if T square is equal to 3, we can easily say equal to 5. So the point is 5 comma 0. So the equation of circle, there are 2 points of diameters are given. So the equation of circle in diameter form you can easily write down x minus x1, x minus 5 plus y minus 0 and y minus 0. So the equation comes as x square plus y square minus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. I hope this is memory based question. I hope the question was correct and this was the right answer. So let's move to the next question. This is a tough integral given here. It is not tough actually. You have seen these types of question in your modules and in your textbooks. So these are typically NCERT based questions actually. So let's move to this question. I is equal to 0 to pi by 2. Sine raised to power 3x dx and sine raised to power 3 by 2x. It is not 2. It is 3 by 2x and cos 3 by 2x. So basically, if I apply the King's rule, 0 to pi by 2, sine raised to power 3 by 2 dx, sine raised to power 3 by 2 and cos raised to power 3 by 2. And if I apply the King's rule, I get the same result in the denominator, but in numerator it will become cos raised to power 3 by 2 and sine raised to power 3 by 2 and cos raised to power 3 by 2. If we add the 2, we will get 2i is equal to 1. So 0 to pi by 2 dx only, or 2i is equal to pi by 2, or I is equal to pi by 4. Now, the next integral is from 0 to 2i. 2i means pi by 2. So we have to find out, let's suppose this integral is I1. I can say 0 to pi by 2 x sin x cos x dx divided by sine raised to power 4 cos raised to power 4 dx. Again, let's go with the King's rule. If we go with the King's rule, the I1 is equal to 0 to pi by 2 minus x sine into cos dx divided by sine raised to power 4 cos raised to power 4. And if you look carefully, this will again come to I1. So I can say that 2I1 is equal to 0 to pi by 2 dx sine raised to power 4 cos raised to power 4. I hope this is the correct approach till now. Okay, now look at the question once again. Okay, the sine and cos will multiply here only again. Sine and cos will multiply to this term also, pi by 2 also. So in this case, 2I1 or I1 is equal to pi by 4, 0 to pi by 2, sine into cos divided by sine raised to power 4 plus cos raised to power 4 dx. Now we can take sine raised to power 4 or cos raised to power 4 common. If I take cos raised to power 4 common, I1 will be pi by 4, 0 to pi by 2, cos raised to power 4 common, cos will cancel, cos cube, that will be equal to 10x dx, and after that 10 raised to power 4x plus 1. And because of the cos square, because if we take cos raised to power 4 common, one cos will cancel, one cos will compensate to sine and cos, sine and 10, we will get sec square x dx in the remaining. So now the question is very simple. You can put 10 square x is equal to t. Okay. So I1 is equal to pi by 8, 0 to pi by 2, 2 10x sec square x dx and 10 raised to power 4 plus 1. I am going to put 10 square x is equal to p. So if 10 square x is equal to p, the integral comes as I1 is equal to pi by 4, and after that, okay, after that we can say 0 to pi by 2. Let's forget the limit right now. The differentiation of this thing will be, t means t square, na? The differentiation will be 2 10x sec square x dx. So we will get t tp, and after here tp square plus 1. And if we integrate the term, that is equal to tan inverse of p. So sorry, pi by 8. So I1 is equal to pi by 8, and it is equal to tan inverse of p. And what do you mean by p? T square. T square means tan square. So that is equal to tan square x 0 to pi by 2. So when x is equal to 0, it will not affect the term. When x is equal to pi by 2, it will be equal to pi by infinity. And tan inverse of infinity again pi by 2. So pi by 8 into pi by 2 will be pi square by 16. So option number B was the correct answer, as we got the replies from the students. Now this is a very simple question. If you look at the NCERT of class 11th or 12th, you can find out the similar questions in those textbooks. I'm not telling you doing NCERT is the sufficient, but in the examination there are some questions which are either directly from the NCERT or either having the concept of NCERT. So let's leave the topic. The coefficient of x raised to power x and x square, there are some correction. It should be p and it should be q. I hope the corrections are right. Those who attempt the paper should can tell me the corrections are right or wrong. So x raised to power p and 1 minus x raised to power q. So coefficient of x and x square is 1 and minus 1. Now let's write down the binomial expansion of these two terms. The binomial expansion of this term will be equal to 1 plus pc1 x plus pc2 x square, and the terms having higher power, and the expansion of this term will be pc1x, after that sorry, not PC1, it should be QC1. QC1 and QC2x square, after that the term having higher power of x. We need to find out the coefficient of x. So the coefficient of x can only occur when this constant will multiply to this term and when this term multiply to this constant. So the coefficient of x will be PC1 minus QC1, which is equal to 1 as per the question. So P minus Q is equal to 1. This is a relation. Now after that, the coefficient of x square. Now let's think, how can you get the x square term? When x is multiplied to x or when x square multiplied to 1. So in this case, I can say that when this 1 multiplied to this term, that means the QC2x square. After that, when this term multiplied to this term, it will generate a negative sign PC1 QC1. And after that, when this term multiplied to this, will get PC2. This will be equal to minus 2. Now there are some little bit calculations are there. Q into Q minus 1 divided by 2 minus PQ plus P into P minus 1 divided by 2 is equal to minus 2. Look, the JEE Mains is all is the game of the calculations. How fast you can do the calculations. Actually, 1 hour is totally not sufficient to solve all the questions. So basically, let's think in a different way. P square minus 2PQ and Q square is equal to P minus Q whole square, and after that, that P and the minus Q will be written as P minus Q is equal to minus 4. But as we know, P minus Q is equal to 1, so P minus Q square is also equal to 1. 1 will go to the right side, so we can get minus of P plus Q is equal to minus 5 and P plus Q is equal to 5. From these two relations, if I add these two, 2P is equal to 6 or P is equal to 3, and if P is equal to 3, the Q should be 2, and P square plus Q square is 9 plus 4. Option number C is the correct. Whatever be the option in your shift, the 13 is the correct answer. So let's move to the next question. Okay, I hope this question is already did by Pradeep sir in before, I think, half an hour. The answer of this question is, I think, option number C. Okay, the option was wrong in that one, but the questions is already discussed. Now let's talk about this integral. Actually, this is nothing but a laborious work, we can say, that we have to integrate this function 3 times. I hope the question is right because we don't have the exact data. But the rough idea of this question is we have to integrate the function 3 times using by parts. So let's suppose this integral is I, x cube sine x dx. Now, as we know, x cube should be the first function and sine x should be the second function. So I should be equal to x cube integral of sine x is minus cos x, and after that integration of differentiation of x cube, integration of minus sine x, integration of sine x is minus cos x, minus minus should be positive dx. After that, x cube minus cos x, and again we'll go with by parts, 3x square, integration of cos x is sin x, minus the differentiation of dx square is 6x, and the integration of cos is again sin x dx. Now again we'll go to the by parts. So I is equal to minus x cube cos x plus 3x square sin x, and the integral of these things. I'm suggesting you, those who are going to appear the paper tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whatever be your time, please use brackets properly. At that moment you can make the calculation mistake, and if you make a calculation mistake, you have to attempt the question twice. Whatever be the pattern of the question, please use the brackets properly. It may take your I think half a minute maximum. So 6x will be as it is, integration of sine will be minus cos, and after that the differentiation of 6 will be 6x, and integration of sine will be minus cos, which will gives us done. So I is equal to minus x cube cos x plus 3x square sin x minus minus plus 6x cos x and 6 sin x, and this is equal to dx. I hope this is okay. Let's move to the next part. So basically we have to put g of pi by 2. So g of pi by 2, all the term containing cos will be 0 because cos pi by 2 is 0. This will be gone. This will gone. So 3 times of pi by 2 the whole square into 1 sin pi by 2 minus 6. That is equal to 3 times of pi square by 4 minus 6. And we have to find out g dash of x using Leibniz rule. You can directly differentiate the function because no limit is given. So it will be equal to x cube sin x. And g dash of pi by 2 will be equal to pi by 2 cube. Basically, you have to add the two result. There may be some options. There may be some other terms given. We have the rough question. So the rough idea to solve this type of question is this. Now look at the limit. When a student of who is preparing for 1 or 2 months, or either who is preparing for 2 year actually, when you look at these type of question, the first term is the limit is tending to infinity. When the limit is tending to infinity, we can simply say that this term will be equal to the coefficient of the highest term from numerator and denominator, which is equal to 2 by 3. So basically the question is 2 by 3 limit x tending to infinity, tx minus 1 raised to power x by 2, and also tx plus 2 raised to power x by 2. Now the question is very easy, I guess. Limit x tending to 3 by 2, tx minus 1 and 3x plus 2 raised to power x by 2, infinity. So when we put infinity here, this will be 1 by 1. That is equal to 1, and this will be equal to 1 raised to power infinity. So the limit is 1 raised to power infinity. And the method to solve the limit 1 raised to power infinity is 2 by 3. We have to shift everything in e raised to power. Limit x tending to infinity, fx minus 1. That means 3x minus 1 divided by 3x plus 2 minus 1 multiplied by x by 2. So 2 by 3 e raised to power limit x tending to infinity. Let's simplify this expression. 3x and 3x will cancel out. It will be equal to minus 3 divided by 3x plus 2 multiplied by x by 2. So when I take x common, it will cancel and there will be x 2 by x. So when x tends to infinity, this term will again vanish. This is already vanished. 3 by 3 minus 1, and that is equal to minus 1 by 2. The answer should be e raised to power minus 1 by 2. I hope the question and the answer and the options both are the correct. So the next question is again a NCERT based type of question. If the square of the shortest distance between the lines is m by n, where m and n are the co-prime numbers, then m plus n equal to. Now look, these type of question can be easily solved by vector method. That means you can shift the lines in the vector form. The first line in the vector form can be written as 2i cap plus j cap minus 3k cap plus lambda times 1, 2, minus 3. 1i cap plus 2j cap minus 3k cap. And the second line R2 should be equal to minus 1, minus 3, minus 5. So minus I cap minus 3j cap minus 5k cap plus mu times 2i cap plus 4j cap minus 5k cap. Now the distance between two lines, the lines are skewed, you can easily see, because even the two vectors are not parallel actually. So the distance between two skew lines can be easily find out. We have to first find out the cross product of these two vectors, I, j, k. 1, 2, minus 3, 2, 4, minus 5. So b1 cross b2, I minus 10 minus 12, that is equal to plus 2, minus j minus 5 minus 6, so it will be equal to 1, and plus k, 4 minus 4, 0. So it is 2i minus j. Now let's find out the difference of the two vectors a2 minus a1. So I minus I, 3i, j minus minus j, 4j. Yes, and there is no need of the k term. So a2 minus a1 dot B1 cross B2 divided by mod of B1 cross B2. So A2 minus A1, the dot product of these two terms, 6 minus 4, I, 3 minus 2, that is 6, minus 4 divided by square root of 2 square plus 1, that is equal to 2 divided by root of 5. Now the question is the square of the distance, and this is the distance. The square is 4 by 5, which is equal to m by n, where m and r co-prime numbers. It is true. So what is m plus n? It should be option number B. So option number B is 9. 4 plus 5. Now let's move to the next question. Oh, a very good one. Actually, there is again some correction in the question. It should be equal to mod of x plus y is greater than or equal to 3. And mod of x plus y, mod x plus mod y less than equal to 3. And C is A intersection B. Then find the sum of x plus y for all x comma y belongs to C. Now, if you first time look at these type of questions, they are really horrible because the language of the questions are really horrible. So let's draw the graph of. I'm going to draw the graph of x plus y equal. It should be a straight line. Yes. Having x and y intercept 3. Now what do you mean by x plus y is greater than 3? X plus y greater than or equal to 3 is the reason that is lying above the line. Now if I took the mod, it will be equal to the same reflection about the x and y axis, and this is the reason that is mod of x plus y greater than 3. Now let's draw this term. Mod x plus mod y is less than equal to 3. So let's start with mod x plus mod y equal to 3, and this is the standard question. This is minus 3 comma 0. This is 0 comma minus 3. This is 3 comma 0, and this term is 0 comma 3. So now if I make all the 4 lines, the graph of the line will look like, it will be n square. Sorry, it will be a square. Now, the less than term will be the reason that is inside the square. Now, the term C, this reason is A actually. This reason is B actually. And the A intersection B is that part. Now you can see the two lines or the two curves intersecting on this part only. Now, this is C. The green part is the C. Now they ask the sum of all the x comma y on the C. So this can be a confusing. If there is a point, let's suppose the point is alpha comma beta. So if the point is on this line, then there should be a second point here which should be minus alpha comma minus beta. Yes or no? So the sum of these two must be 0. So sum of every point, if there is a point, the negative of that point is here. So I can say the sum of all these points will be equal to. Now let's move to a very simple question based on the complex numbers. Mod z is equal to 1. So what do you mean by mod z is equal to 1? We can say mod z is equal to 1 means x square plus y square is equal to 1 if z is x plus iota y. And what do you mean by this term? This term is z square plus z bar square divided by z bar is equal to 1. Or I can say x square minus y square minus plus 2 iota xy plus x square minus y square minus 2 iota xy. I hope you know how to find out the square of a complex number. Should be equal to 1. This is already equal to 1 because mod z square. So x square minus y square double should be equal to 1, which gives us x square minus y square equal to plus minus 1 by 2. Now we have to find out the number of such possible complex numbers. We don't have to solve the values of it. There is a tip. If we need to find out the number of possible solutions, just go with the graph. I hope in many cases the answer can be correct. So what do you mean by x square plus y square is a circle having center at origin? And what do you mean by x square minus y square equal to 1 by 2? X square minus y square equal to 1 by 2 is a hyperbola. And what do you mean by x square minus y square equal to minus 1 by 2 is again the hyperbola which is conjugate to the. So how many point of intersections are there? 8. So the option or the answer is 8. Let's move to this question. Okay, this is I think a NCERT based question. Let's suppose A is A, B, C, X, Y, Z and alpha, beta, gamma. The first case is when I multiply it 0, 1, 0, I'll get 0, 0, 1. So the multiplication will gives us A comma 0, B comma 0 and 1, which gives you B is equal to 0, Y is equal to 0 and beta equal to 1. So let's mark the three terms 0, 0, 1. Now let's move to the second part. The second part is 4, 1, 3 is also equal to 0, 1, 0. So let's again multiply the two terms. We have to find out A23. Now, what do you mean by A23? A23 is the Z. So we have to find out the Z only. We don't have to solve the full matrix actually. 4A, 3C, 4A plus 3C is equal to 0. 4X plus 3Z is equal to 1 and 4 alpha plus 1 plus 3y is equal to 0. Now let's move to the last one, which is 2, 1, 2, 1, 0, 0. So it will gives us 2 alpha plus 2c is equal to 1 and 2x plus z is equal to 0. Now can we find out z directly from these two equations? Write down all the equations. Let's multiply 2 in this equation. 4x plus 2z is equal to 0 and we can subtract the two equations. So it will gives us 3z minus 2z, that is z equal to 1. I hope the questions is. So this was from our side. We tried all the questions that we got from the different sources. And I'm telling you one thing, that you tried very well in the examination. And whatever you attempt is all the right. Just keep the calm. And for the next session, all the students who are associated with this channel, please share this channel and attempt the paper till 28th. Those who are going to attempt the paper in the next few days, I wish you all the best. Stay with Physics Wala, stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you very much. मुझ में किसकी आत्मा घुस गई थी?